that conference after they were picked 9th in the preseason poll. Because of that, and because they brought so much back, they bring back 80% of their scoring from last year and all 5 starters. They were picked 2nd in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference this year. So ready to go here on a Sunday afternoon. Same starting 5 for Boston College that we've seen here of late. There's Sidberry, who got it back, but traveled in the process.
Good chaos down low in the paint to start here for the Saints. Great help side defense there from Gamble to come over and make that pass a little more difficult for Sidberry. But you talked about it. 2003 was the last time these two teams played too, Eric.
That is taken away by Sidberry. The steals in this game are going to be a huge factor because both teams do a really good job taking the basketball away. That was a little miscommunication behind Wagner, and then it's the foul that's picked up at the end of it. Anijah Jackson, the senior, made the initial play, but then got caught with her hands on the back of Wagner, so that's why she's called for the foul.
Yeah, sometimes you get one hand on there, they'll let that slide, but when you get both, it's going to be an easy foul called, and that's a bad pass.
So we talked about it. Now, some of it's the steals, but some of it's the unforced errors as well. So Siena to work on the offensive end, and then Naja Brown spinning inside. Good take, but Andrea Daly did enough defensively.
Yeah, look for Siena to expose that size mismatch down low in the paint, especially with Brown coming off of a really good game.
Wagner thought about the back cut on the pass, then elected to take the jumper. Sidberry found an offensive rebound, a little short. Todd with a 3rd opportunity in his foul.
I like that sequence, though, Eric, because you got 2 players really attacking the rim, deciding we're going to go take it, we're going to draw some contact, and potentially get a foul here. And you see it first with Sidberry, and then here's Sidberry's opportunity. A good try to reverse, use the rim as another defender, and then Todd, who's had a really hot streak in the last couple of games.
Yeah, you talk about someone playing with confidence right now. Tiana Todd, who has started the last 5 games. Over her last 3, she's averaging 17 points a game, shooting 67% from the floor, and 7 of 11 from behind the arc. Pretty impressive stuff.
Also can control the floor, right? She has good vision, can find players. So she's contributing in all different aspects.
Fast break off of the broken press, and Siena does a nice job to get to the basket, and there is Mevius, the sophomore, with her first 2. Mevius, who is 4th in the conference in points per game, 3rd in field goal percentage, and then she is 2nd nationally in steals and 4th nationally in minutes played. Good cut inside for Daly.
And leads the conference with 28 steals. She is one of those players that continues to impress and grow as her collegiate experience.
This time the press works for Boston College as the Eagles get the steal.
Talked about it already, a couple of steals, a couple of turnovers early on.
Daly, nice footwork, an excellent Euro step for Andrea Daly, who has 4 in the early going.
Always hard on those Euro steps, right? You don't want to drag the foot. That's usually what causes the travel.
Daly, who really has turned into a force offensively for Boston College. 10 points in 9 consecutive games now, averaging 19 points per game over her last 5. Inside for Brown, and it's a good look by Anijah Brown, who slipped in behind the Boston College defense. And the junior has her first 2.
Got to get that help side defender to come over. It was Ivy for BC, that last chance.
Taken away here by Siena. Jackson out front. Quick trigger on the 2, no good. And Andrea Daly again has the rebound. Cycles around for Sidberry coming off a nice game. Sidberry, oh boy, the Red Sea just parted there for Teya Sidberry, the sophomore, who came in as a transfer from Utah. And an easy bucket to make it 7-4.
Nice little head fake there to open it up. She looked to the left, saw the pass there, instead drove it.
That shot was well short and out of bounds.
You talked about it, Eric. Just great job for Daly, finding opportunities cutting across the paint on that chance, and then this time going to size up the defender, realize, hey, I got a lane here on the left side. Beautiful Euro step to open it up. Fast start, but you got to like this defensive start for Siena, too.
Well, you sort of, both of these teams, we talked about their ability to take the ball away. And it's sort of, you go into a game like this, you feel like you're going to have some turnovers. The key is cutting down on the unforced turnovers, those ones that you can control in your own right.
Well, especially both teams like to leave their feet to try to get the passes across. So you just got to be on the same page. And so far, both teams haven't really been on the same page to start this game.
Wagner got a strip from behind. That's a nice job by Yergi, the first year from Virginia. And then Wagner trying to make up for it, commits the foul.
But those are the opportunities that zone defenses allow you to have. You have active hands in there. You're going to get a lot of steals in a matchup. So look at Siena's 2-3 zone. They're aggressive on it. They like to move in sync. So when they're able to do that, they've already caused a couple of turnovers here against BC. You're going to see it on this replay. Just active hands in that lane.
Here's Jackson. That's a long three ball, too strong, but the rebound came down to Mebius. Good read off the miss. Yergi found herself open and hits! Reined in Aldi Yergi, the first year.
Again, just opening it up with the fake to the right side. Had a player there open, defender commits. Takes that shot with just the time closing out on the defender coming across for BC. Yergi for three, nice.
Here's a chance to match for JoJo Lacey. Corners threes, no good. Wagner found a rebound and quickly to the bucket for Dontavia Wagner. And that is now, with that reach in, a second foul on Dontavia Wagner. See her going right to the bench. Gonna have to come out here with two.
Knew it right away as well. As soon as the whistle blew, she's making her way over to the bench. This is the last opportunity for Wagner as she picks up that loose ball. 50-50 balls are also gonna be a big part of this one. Who's gonna get down on the ground? Who's gonna do the dirty work to get that possession back?
Sidberry steps up. Lacey was calling for it, but the pass almost looked like it surprised her a bit. Cycles around for Ivy. Her pull-up jumper, no good. Sidberry with an offensive rebound, though, with a putback. Boy for Teya Sidberry.
Good thing on that shot for Ivy. It drew out Brown, who was the bigger player down in the post.
Speaking of Brown, that's blocked. Andrea Daly. Eagles in transition. Ivy passes it off. Tiana Todd to the paint and is fouled. So Todd will go to the line when we come back. Not necessarily pretty in the early going, but Eagles have found their points, 5 of 9. And well, we mentioned a pretty special year for Siena a season ago after they were picked 9th in the MAC preseason poll. They end up finishing 4th. They made their way to the semifinals, including a win over Fairfield, who was the reigning champs in the MAC tournament. They ended up losing to the 1 seed in the MAC semifinals. Under head coach Jim Jaber, who's in his 3rd season among this stint with Siena, but he was also the head coach of the Saints going back to when he was hired as a 24-year-old, going back to 1987. A long, long time head coach in his 36th season as a head women's basketball coach. He's been a bunch of different places. Most recently with FAU before he got the job here in Siena. Spent a long time with Dayton, most notably from 2003 to 2016. Also in this region with Providence from 1996 to 2002. And he's been relatively successful everywhere he's been. 546 career wins.
What's impressive about last year was he had one of the youngest teams in the nation a year ago and made it to that MAC semis, losing to Iona. And he knows that when he's building a special, he recruits not only in the country, but internationally as well. So a presence across women's basketball.
Todd 1 of 2 at the foul line. So 12-7 the Boston College lead as we play here in the first quarter from Conti Forum. Yergi inside, and then the follow-up was stripped away by JoJo Lacey. Good read with Esther Turry. going for the rebound, but then a carry was called on Boston College.
Just feels like there are times where BC has opportunities to go on the fast break, but there's mental mistakes on the carry or the turnovers, bad passes. They haven't been able to create some separation here in the first quarter.
So Siena will get another opportunity. Mevius skips it out to the corner, then stepping in, long shot from Turi, no good. Offensive rebound though, and the putback try by Teresa Cepolo is not there. And Siena will get another crack at it. Jackson thought about the three.
Not with Sidberry in front of him.
Mevius this time. That is no good, and Sidberry has the rebound. Well, both of these teams are pretty good in the offensive boards. That's another factor we're going to look for in this game. Lacey for three is no good. Siena as a team averages almost 13 offensive rebounds per game, but the issue for them is they give up almost 16 offensive rebounds per game. Nice little step back there by Mevius, but no good for three.
Always say you got to train those shots. You get a nice move like that, you got to sink it.
Siena has struggled from the floor, just one of their last 10 from the floor, and that's going to lead to Jim Jaber calling a timeout off the Sidberry make. Boston College has doubled up the Saints here in the early going. Sequence kind of is a pretty good indication of what this game has been so far. Siena had a bunch of opportunities. A couple of offensive rebounds in there, but just could not convert at the rim, and the Eagles take advantage in transition.
When you look at BC, smaller team size-wise, and they have more points in the paint.
There is Mevius inside, so that's a pretty good press break. We've seen one or two of those from Siena in the game.
And the way BC is pressing, they have just one player back. It's like a 2-2-1 press, so they're trying to put more pressure on the guards up front and letting the forwards to rush down. So twice now we've seen a breakout, easy layup the other way. We were talking to Coach Mack before the game. She said that both players have to be on the same page on this press. Whether they're both going to sag or whether they're both going to attack to try to get that ball back, it hasn't been that way to start.
No, free throw off the mark here to start from Daly. Coach Mack in her 6th season here with Boston College. And we talked about sort of, the idea that what she feels like this team has the ability to do in terms of getting the ball inside and not so much throwing to the paint, but driving to the paint. As Daly flies in for a rebound, but it's so much more additive as an offense when you can shoot the ball along with it. Todd for three is no good. Offensive rebound. Kayla Lazama just into the game. She couldn't finish at the rim. But then a foul called on the rebound.
Yeah, it looked like a bump there from Brown below the basket to get the foul on Sidberry. But how about the attacking mentality for Teya Sidberry? She's on the defensive end, hounding the rebounds, tracking them down. On the offensive end, she's taking threes, she's driving the lane. That's the kind of aggressiveness you want in a game like this that stays pretty close.
And that, by the way, is the second foul. Or excuse me, that's actually the third foul already on Anaja Brown. Siena, who's a little bit down numbers-wise. So already, that's where you kind of see Boston College and their ability to kind of out-physical a team with some of those fouls that add up early on in the game.
Again, Siena does have size, so when you enter Turi for Brown, you still have that big presence in the post.
Gamble inside is fouled.
These guards for Siena aren't afraid to attack Boston College in the paint. First it was Gamble. We saw Jackson have a couple of lanes. Gamble had 11 starts in 32 games last year, so she's gaining more experience as her collegiate career goes on as well.
Sophomore who was at about 7 points a game last year, notably had a career high 16 points against Merrimack earlier this year. So a couple at the line. Kind of on the foul note as well. Lazama first for three is good. Kayla Lazama, a nice spot up three. Her 5th three-point make of the season.
Big one, big moment too, as Siena was trying to cut into this lead.
Kick to the corner. Free ball is no good, a little strong from Yergi, but an offensive rebound. A lot of these shots, for whatever reason, have had long rebounds, and Siena has done a good job finding them. Yergi going inside of the pass was looking for Turi, but it's taken away by JoJo Lacey.
It's twice now. JoJo Lacey has come up and just out of nowhere taking a ball away. But you're right, the iron's strong today. It's popping right back out. Maybe a little too inflated are these basketballs today.
12 to shoot, Todd on the drive. Nice take from Todd, but not there on the putback. And now Gamble brings it back across in a 9-point game. 1:20 to go here in the first quarter. Boston College and Siena. Gamble, nice little move. Left hand, no. Lacey had a piece of the rebound. It's down to Sidberry.
Good recovery for Lacey. She got beat to the drive, but got a hand up in time.
JoJo couldn't hang on.
Again, it goes back to that point we were making earlier, is there just hasn't been clean sequences of consistent play. Everything's kind of chaotic. There's some turnovers. The passing isn't there. Setting up the offense. We'll see if which team decides to dictate the pace of this game.
Devious tried to sneak a pass inside. It was Lily Krushovets, who is just into the game for Boston College, who was there defending and taking away that passing lane, and that kind of forced the pass out of bounds.
I think sometimes players get a little too fancy too, right? Too many no-looks, too many opportunities to try to do something special. That's an easy bounce pass you make, and there's a good lane.
Todd, right-hand floater, was a little far out for that, but Nene and Jai found it. Keeps it alive. Lizama, who's off to a good start here in the first quarter. 5 for Kayla Lizama.
I love that play from the sophomore. She realized that Njai was going to go get that ball and be trapped in the corner, decided to cut across the paint. Ended up getting the secondary pass.
Stepala had to leap to catch that, nearly lost the handle on the dribble, driving against Njai. The final 14 seconds of this first quarter, and a foul called on Todd, with Mevius trying to slip around.
For Siena, it looks like everything's going to touch the hands of Mevius, right? Whether it's a pass, whether it's dishing it off, whether it's just presence. Try to get Mevius to distract some of the defenders for Boston College, and it opens up opportunities for the other players on the court.
So 12.1 remain in this first quarter. That pass was behind Mevius. Miscommunication there. She does get back to it. 7 to shoot. Working against the freshman Njai, and that's a really good defensive play. Lizama up with it. Gotta get it off. It'll count. But it does not go. It's a pretty good defensive effort there.
Like that on that Boston College team that in 2005, 2006 also had a good run in the NCAA tournament.
So we start the second quarter, 22-11. Boston College the lead over Siena. Here is Turi trying to get inside, working it back for Mevius. Krushovets still in there for Boston College, and they get Krushovets on a reach-in foul. Mevius really is willing to go a lot of different places on the floor. You really have to do a good job to follow her all the way through.
Well, then the vision's really good too. She'll cut to the right and still have eyes to see the player in the corner.
And a second foul in a row is called. That time Andrea Daly is called for the foul, her first. So 2 in a row on the same sequence here with Siena working on the offensive end. Tavia Wagner is back in, and this time draws the offensive foul. So remember Wagner, who picked up 2 early, but does a good job there to fight through a screen and draw the offensive call.
Could have been dangerous, right? If it goes the other way, that's another foul. So you got to be smart, but both officials were on the same page with that offensive. More active hands there for Mevius.
Yergi is blocked. Krushovets Didn't even have to jump there, was just in perfect position for the 6'3" freshman. Free ball rattles off, but out of bounds off for Boston College.
That wingspan, I mean, sheesh. That's a tough shot. Jackson had to put it up. She knew she was running out of space, but again, with no jumping on this opportunity, you're gonna see it here. Maybe a little jump, some elevation.
Siena made their first couple of shots, but have really struggled from the floor since then. Maybe that'll start going the other way as Jurgi, the first year, knocks down her second field goal of the game.
Can be another player to watch as this game goes on. If Jurgi can find that shot, it opens up Nevius a little bit more and can go inside out.
Five to shoot for Boston College. Trying to get around this zone. Todd's got to go. Boy, that was a really patient look. I know it didn't go, but it's so easy to speed up in those situations, and she knew exactly how much time she had and actually got a half-decent shot away. Feed inside for Turi, kind of a wild shot. Daly trying to find it, does pick it up. There's a triple team there, passes out to the open Todd. And a 3-second call against Boston College. They're going to say Daly was in there for too long.
Jim Jaber helped with that call. He was counting out the numbers in the paint. See this last opportunity for Todd on the nice open up there on Jackson to get her overcommit, stumbled on her way. Again, those are the shots that you want to make, especially as a player. When you create that much space and you get your defender to move that much, that's an easy look at the rim. Both teams a little cold here to start the second.
Sapala, really nice move, going to her left. The sophomore from Finland with a lot of international experience. Played for Finland's U16 and U20 national teams throughout the course of her career.
All-MAC rookie team selection a year ago, so good skill on her, can shoot the three ball as well as attack the paint.
Wagner, it's knocked out of bounds. They'll stay here. Just 5 seconds remaining on the possession time. JoJo Lacey and Teya Sidberry coming back into the game for Boston College. So Wagner will inbound right in front of the Siena bench.
You can literally see the bench players, the coaches, everybody from Siena trying to communicate.
Todd at the end of the timer, no good from three. Wagner, though, found the offensive rebound, forces it up and got it! And the foul! What an effort by Dontavia Wagner.
That's just a great job following this ball, getting the rebound, then off balance with the contact there on Nevius. Still manages to get it up high enough to get that home court bounce off the rim.
Now the Eagles open up a 10-point lead again. 5 points from Dontavia Wagner. Nice take by Jackson. So both teams have managed to find their openings in the paint as this first half has gone on.
I just love that. You have the defender run into their own player. Jackson turns the corner and uses her speed to sprint down the paint. Nice lane there for Jackson.
Lacey tried to hand off, and an offensive foul called against Boston College. So JoJo Lacey got kind of caught in too tight an area there and is called for the moving screen.
Yeah, you see that. Just beautifully done by Jackson. Sidberry was trying to pick up, realized Wagner was going to stay, gave her a split second that she needed.
Corner three is short from Jurgi, and Sidberry finds the rebound. And another foul was called in the process.
Like Jackson got under Sidberry there, but we talked about it earlier, right? Which team's gonna get on the ground? Which team's gonna go after it? You're gonna see Sidberry track this rebound down. Jackson's gonna make it a little difficult on the backside here, trying to take it away, but then just undercuts her.
Fouls are starting to add up. Of course, to this one. Wagner is trying to set up JoJo Lacey. Stay here with 13 to shoot, under 6 remaining here in the first half. 25-17, the lead for Boston College. Daly inside, and a bunch of traffic forcing it through. The follow, no. Couple of chances there. The Eagles unable to finish at the rim. Through the paint, kick out, Yergi, no. Offensive rebound, though, was momentarily kept alive by Esther Turi, but stepped on the out-of-bounds line underneath the bucket.
Getting opportunities for second chance points, just not able to convert them. And talked about Mevius and her vision. That's just a great job drawing the defense to close in the paint, finding the shooter on the arc.
Sidberry, left hand, and draws the foul.
Again, just to the attack mentality for Sidberry to know once she has that ball in her possession, she can match up with anybody in the country. It feels like her confidence continues to grow here playing at Boston College, and it's paying off for the Eagles.
Well, one thing that Coach Mack told us at the beginning of the season was, you know, she's gonna find her points. It may not look pretty in the process, but she's gonna find them.
Just shows you the confidence that Coach Mack has.
Coming in as a transfer from Utah, where she played as a freshman. All-time leading scorer in high school in the state of Utah. Over 2,500 points. And has 10 so far today. The Eagles' lead is 10. Mevius, nice spin move, but then travel. So Teya Sidberry's been the difference offensively for Boston College. 10 points, 3 of 4 shooting, and 7 rebounds as well. What a game. Eagles about Teya Sidberry, who's really had a wonderful all-around effort so far today.
Yeah, you talked about it coming over.
A wonderful all-around effort so far today.
Yeah, you talked about it coming over here to Boston College. Good layup there, rebound and a layup. She has 3 offensive rebounds, 7 rebounds in total here so far in the first half. 10 points, 3 for 4 from the floor, and you can just see when she has the ball in her hand.
Well, we were going to break talking about Teya Sidberry, who's really had a wonderful all-around effort so far today.
Yeah, you talked about it coming over here to Boston College. Good layup there, rebound and a layup. She has 3 offensive rebounds, 7 rebounds in total here so far in the first half. 10 points, 3 for 4 from the floor, and you can just see when she has the ball in her hands, she knows she wants to attack, and that's been the difference maker so far here between Boston College and Siena is Sidberry.
See, 10 points as we talked about, 7 rebounds as well. She's also made all of her foul shots so far, 4 for 4 from the line. So a 10-point Eagles lead.
Just look at the zone, how good it moves.
Well, it's certainly an adjustment that you have to deal with as an offense. Lazama got to get it off. It's a pretty good look. Long rebound, though, and Kayla Ivey. Wonderful read, and the Eagles get another sequence.
Not just standing around. You follow your shot, you're going to get more rebounds, and BC has followed their shot a lot more here today.
Lacey shuffles back right. Ivey 3-ball. That's good. Kayla Ivey, who has been so good as that true point guard, facilitating over the last few games, averaging 10 assists per game over her last 4. But the shot still hasn't really gone down this year. Coach Max talked a lot with her about, we love everything you're doing, but still looking to have that three-point shot, and she makes that one with a good-looking shot there.
She's the first player in the gym to start the game. She's the first one putting up shots, getting that practice in.
Ivy pull-up jumper, was halfway down. London Gamble is good. 4 for Gamble.
Mid-range has been the spot for Siena to start this game. The 3 is just 1 for 9, but when you get just that 2-3 steps in, it really helps.
Sidberry back for JoJo Lacey. Falling away, tough shot for JoJo. Lacey finds its way. Lacey has been good recently, averaging over 11 points in her last 3 games.
Zama just a little too aggressive there, but you like that. Coming off the bench, having these opportunities. We're talking about Ivy. Those shots just really, once you get more confidence, they start to fall, and you can see that she's gaining more confidence. And then look at this London Gamble, a little step back. See ya.
Yeah, I mean, you've made the point, but you look at where the three-point shot rate is for Siena. They average about 7 made threes per game this year. So when that's not going, how do they kind of find new ways to cycle the offense? Really good transition for Boston College, and Sidberry off the Siena make from Mevius at the other end. 12 points for Sidberry. Siena trying to go quickly, and Mevius is fouled.
Talked about it, just great vision to see it end-to-end on this inbound play. And Kayla Ivy, just send her down to Foxborough. They need quarterbacks over there, right?
Oh, we weren't worrying about that this weekend. It's finally a weekend off.
Hey, they picked up a win on Thursday. It's all right. The point is, Eric, that's just a great dime. That's a dime.
Mevius is off on the first free throw.
But then who's the recipient? Sidberry, right? Running down the court.
Sidberry is getting close to a first half double-double.
I think these games help too, because once you get into conference play, you're gonna see 6'4", 6'5" bigs.
Todd launching a 3, little short, couldn't get the roll, but Lacey, did a good job to get the offensive rebound, but just could not quite get the putback to go.
It's already 11 offensive rebounds for Boston College here in the first half. It's really helping them with second chance opportunities, even painting the point.
Got blocked by Sidberry with Mevius there on the drive. Mevius got away from Todd, sets up the 3. Again, that was a pretty good look that time, but Siena still just 1 of 10 from behind the arc. There's Todd, tried to go up with it, was blocked. Siena trying to come back with speed with 1:31 to go here in this first half. Apollo thought about it. Mevius, who has the ball in her hands so much. That's an excellent play. And Esther Turi draws the foul.
Also, these layups are just too strong. They're coming hard off the rims. They're coming hard off the backboard. You're not getting it. There's not a lot of finesse on these finishes for both these teams, and you're seeing a lot of balls just hit the backboard and bounce out without touching the rim.
One shot.
Sometimes a little flick of the wrist makes that shot a little smoother.
Siena has not gotten to the line a lot, but they have not been great there. 3 of 6 from the foul line, but an offensive rebound again, as we talked about. Jackson thought about the pass, instead elects the 3, couldn't hit it. Another offensive board, though, for Siena, and that one goes from Sapala. That is now 10 offensive rebounds for Siena, 11 for Boston College.
She was a great shooter last year.
Lacey to match. No good, and Gamble brings it up with under a minute to go here in the first half. Siena has, it feels like, started to have a little more speed to their offense as the second quarter has gone along. A little 6-0 spurt here over the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think it started with that Jackson layup. When she turned the corner and realized she can beat the bigs down low, it's allowed for more opportunities for the guards to try to go sized up.
And the zone has forced BC deeper into the shot clock. And now the timer off for Siena here at the end of the first half. And what an opportunity here. Nevius, and an offensive foul called away from the ball with 7.6 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, it looked like it was on the screen there. So it gives Boston College a chance to end with the last shot with 7.6. Could BC, you don't want to rush it. 7.6 is a lot of time to set up and shoot.
Ivy facilitates. Here's JoJo Lacey. Pull-up jumper, no. And that will do it for the first half.
So seeding well. So we'll see if that changes here in the second half.
So we start the third quarter, 3-3 Siena, 5-5 Boston College here on this Sunday afternoon in Chestnut Hill. Andrea Daly going to work, goes to her right, comes back left, finds Todd, 3 ball is off the mark.
Good effort there by Wagner, trying to keep it alive, but right to the Saints.
Boy. That ended up working out better than I initially thought. Kind of a wild pass from Nevius, but credit to her.
Put a little English on it, right? Had some spin.
Thought that was coming right for you and me. Went to put a cover on the coffee.
Got coffee and tea here, gotta be careful.
Todd on the drive, and it's foul.
It's all right, our colleague Josh had a nice catch during that UMass Lowell game. Came right to him, bobbled it a bit, but still held on.
Oh, he's a major league broadcaster. He knows what he's doing.
See this play down. Again, just the passing. We've talked about it. When you're able to take the eyes away from Nevius, it really creates opportunities because those passes sometimes are a little chaotic.
Yeah, and I think those are the ones that, if you're as a coach, have to be a little frustrating because, again, we talked about it off the top of the show. This is one of those games where it feels like there are going to be some turnovers because both of these teams are pretty effective at creating those chances, but it's about stopping the unforced ones and trying to limit some of those. 2 free throws for Todd. Held a little bit in check today, 0 of 7 from the floor, but still has gotten to the line a little bit for free throws. That's another one that's thrown away.
Sometimes you go a little too fast, and Siena went a little too fast on that offensive sequence. Gamble was trying to get it back down low, but talked about it. The shooting percentage for both these teams are not great. 35 and below, 35 for BC, 32 for Siena.
And remember, the Eagles did start pretty well from the floor. Haley kicks to Todd. 3 ball is short, but a good rebound by Wagner. Nobody boxed out Dontavia Wagner, and the senior has 7.
12 offensive rebounds now for Boston College.
Another whirling pass comes around for Gamble, and her 3 is off the mark. Sidberry on the drive. Left hand, good. 14 points from Teya Sidberry.
You see Coach Mack with a smile on her face after that because read option number 1, take the shot. It's not there. Read option number 2, drive the lane. And Sidberry beautifully done with the great finish. Boston College 40, Siena 27. We'll step aside here in Chestnut Hill.
Both of these teams with a really pretty heavy international influence on their rosters, especially with Siena, as you see the number of different players coming over who have played significantly internationally. You know, we talked about Nevius specifically. She spent this last summer with the German national FIBA 3-on-3 team, the FIBA U21 3-on-3 league championship in Europe, helped secure a spot in the finals in Mongolia. Some regular basketball national team experience as well. We mentioned Sapala earlier and what she's done with the Finland national team. So A lot of experience on this Siena team overseas.
Well, and overseas, women's basketball is a lot bigger, right? You have stadiums sold out, you have academies, and players get that development. Coming here to the college game allows them to still get that development where a lot of these players want to play professionally when they go back to Europe, Italy, wherever they're going, and it allows them to get that chance.
Good find inside by Ivy. Sidberry no good. Well, it feels like there's a run to be had. Neither team has really been able to break away. The Eagles have done enough here at the beginning of this third quarter to stretch the lead back out a little bit. That was saved by Mevius. A chance here for Siena. If they can find some shots here, feels like there's a chance. Mevius for three, and that is a big one. Aliza Mevius with 10 points for the sophomore and cuts it back to 10.
Well, again, just great job tracking that down. Nice job by
Pretty
Wagner.
consistently, Boston College has answered quickly in some of those situations. 9 for Wagner.
Well, you're saying we need a run, right? But there's no opportunity for a run when both these teams continue.
Teams, yep. They've gone pretty fast in transition off of some of those big makes. Mevius throws inside. Anaja Brown, who really did not get to play a lot in that first half because she had 3 fouls. Good setup there, and back to a 10-point game.
Distributing the ball well, not forcing it.
Bailey quickly right back down the other end. One-on-one matchup, no, but got the offensive rebound.
If you're Brown, you got to be careful, right? 3 fouls.
Yep. Bailey knows that. Kicks to Todd, slips inside, sets up Wagner. Pull up Jay, no. Mevius again on the run, tried to float it to Turi. That's again thrown away.
Yeah, going back to this play from Mevius, sees the outlet pass coming, saves it before crashing to us here in our broadcast booth, and then it sets up on the corner. You're gonna see her sprint by right there, extra pass from Jackson, corner 3 in the pocket.
Testing the ergonomics of this table here.
It's sturdy, it feels pretty sturdy.
It's already gone down once this year. That is Todd, no. Wagner kind of kicked off of her, does manage to get it back. Finds Kayla Ivy on that baseline pass. Sidberry, oh, that's a nifty little left foot move. Just took that one step to get around her defender. That's 16 points now for Sidberry. She is the only scorer in double figures in the game today.
And 5 offensive rebounds for Dontavia Wagner.
Ivy sets up Daly, who's fouled.
Talked about Kayla Ivy and just how she's so good at facilitating. This is one of those plays, right, where you get so deep in the paint, you might have to just float it up, try it before the defenders come, and you gotta float it over the trees. But this time she does a great job on the bounce pass. Sometimes if that pass is in the air, you're gonna get it deflected with the active hands. Bounce pass, easy drive. Daly draws the foul.
That's the 3rd foul on Turi. So 3 for Turi, 3 for Brown. Been a factor, 2 of Siena's tallest players.
See the numbers, 26 points for Boston College, points in the paint. When you don't have that size down there, BC will take advantage of it.
Brown found the rebound off a couple of misses from the line. Long skip pass for Jackson. 3 ball, got the roll. Anaja Jackson with 5.
Nice friendly bounce there, but she had to shoot it. She knows she had the defenders closing in. It's a great release.
Here is Daly, who got it, and a foul. Andrea Daly using her will to get inside, and a free throw coming up when we come back. But Siena still hanging around as Jackson knocks down her first. 5 is the Boston College lead, but a really big shot there from the senior Anaja Jackson. 13 preseason all-max selection is a really key part when she's going right, coming off a season-high 17 against Fordham.
Yeah, when she's scoring, this team is a different team. 10 points in 4 of 6 games this season. In those games, in those wins for Siena, she has at least 2 3-pointers made. So that's a big one. Sinking that one here on the near side, but she can facilitate. We've talked about Kayla Ivey. She's done a great job finding Mevius, finding different players in the paint, and also not afraid to shoot it when she has that open look. Is hurting Boston College today.
Yeah, it was going okay for a while, but that's now 10 of 16 from the line and 2 of 5 in this second half. Siena, much fewer opportunities, 3 for 6. Mevius, nowhere to go with that pass, and it's Lozama out in front. The Boston native, Kayla Lozama, with 7 points.
A spark off the bench for Boston College.
One shy of her season high with 7 points so far today. Made that 3-ball early. And an offensive foul.
Wagner might not be having all the points today, but she has done the dirty work. Right there, steps up, sets those feet, and draws it. That's number 4 now on Brown. So we'll see if they're in there. It looks like Turi's gonna...
Yeah, but didn't get it in ahead of it, so Brown is still out there with 4 fouls right now. Got to be careful.
For Boston College, you go right at her.
Yep. Lacey skips inside. That got knocked away from Sidberry. Jackson inside for Brown. That's a pretty good take. So Anaja Brown playing on 4 fouls, but gets 2 inside.
And that time she didn't create the contact. That time she just kind of rolled off of it to allow the shot to float off the board and in. So you want to be smart if you're Brown, especially playing with 4 fouls.
Here is Ivey for 3. That's good! Kayla Ivey has found the shooting stroke today. Second 3-pointer for Kayla, and she ties her season high with 6 points. Sidberry inside, add another assist to Ivey's total. And Sidberry up to 18 points.
It's a good adjustment there, getting caught in the air, still having to pump and create an opportunity.
Felt like that was a big moment. Those 5 points in a row. The Eagles have made 5 in a row now from the floor. And a foul is called with Sapala going to the basket. Octavia Wagner called for her 3rd foul.
And we talked about it. Kayla Ivey does a great job being one of the first people out here to find that shot. The confidence continues. And then we talked about it, just waiting, being patient for Sidberry. Well, coming off a great game against UMass, she is still finding that success, whether it's a shot or the drive, the lay-ins. Fun player to watch.
Ala 8 of 12 from the free throw line this year and knocks down another. Boston College trying to pull away. Siena's trying to stay close. Krashovets inside for Lacey. That's an excellent pass from Lily Krashovets to find JoJo Lacey on the cut. Siena trying to answer. Jackson passed up the first, goes inside. Floater was way off. Todd out in front off the rebound. Todd hands off Lozama, and that goes. New season high 9 points for Kayla Lozama. Now the Eagles have opened up their largest lead of the game. Siena forced to use a timeout. Boston College has made 7 in a row from the floor to open up the lead.
It's after missing 3 consecutive free throws and then just finding opportunities here in fast break. Lozama has been a spark for Boston College, and she has found success with a new season high. But again, it's defense leading to offense. Boston College getting Siena at a source and allowing them for the fast break to get these easy buckets. Now 36 of the 57 points from Boston College have come in the paint.
So it's a little 13-4 run here for Boston College. Gotta open this up.
Making their last 7 field goals.
And that's the thing, right? Because, you know, what have we kept talking about with Coach Mack quite a bit? She feels okay about where the shots are coming from. They just gotta go in and, you know, maybe warrant for a stretch in that second quarter, but now they've started to once again.
I think BC's also said, hey, we don't have to shoot up this many threes, right? We don't have to keep shooting threes. When they're not following, let's just step in. Let's find that paint. Let's get the defender to commit and then have an easy drive for the layup. So BC has made a really good in-game adjustment here to not force the three-pointers, especially against the 2-3 zone where it's so easy to take three-point shots.
Got to find different ways to break it. Sapala inside against Krashovets. And the sophomore from Finland with 9 points. Now Siena's made 5 of their last 7 from the floor. But the Eagles haven't missed in that time, and that is a traveling violation called against BC.
Look how aggressive this layup is. Drives, puts it on the ground, knows there's some contact coming, and still ends up getting it off the glass and in.
Sapala, oh boy, nice take. That's 2 moves in a row. Pretty impressive. Sophomore from Finland going deep into the bag of tricks.
Kind of a 2-player game right here. Take it, you drive, or no, I'm gonna open it up.
Lacey on the drive, that's good. Confident take from JoJo Lacey. Gamble leaping for that pass, stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
It's a little chaotic again. Siena just trying to find an opening on the opposite side.
Here is Lacey, tried to spin through and it was stripped. Sapala, who's been the hot hand of late. Pass was too far. Looking for Turi inside.
Yeah, she just got caught leaving that plant foot, so didn't know whether to try to move, get that pass down low, take the shot. Sometimes you get caught in between decisions and you just, like a deer in the headlights, that time that pass just didn't have the right accuracy on it.
Gamble watching a close eye on Ivy. 7 to shoot, Lizama. 4 to shoot, skip past Todd. Gotta get it off for 3, and that's too strong. Well defended there by Siena on that whole last sequence. And that does it for the third quarter. That ended the Eagles' streak from 9 makes. Had been 8 in a row before the one at the end of the timer. And a 59-43 lead.
Talked about efficiency, right? And that's what they're doing here to start this second half, is being more efficient with their shot selection. Sapala as well, she's been more efficient.
Siena's really gone to her and given her more opportunity here as this second half has gone on.
She's making the most of it, right? Like, not just deciding to drive and draw fouls and go chaotic, making better decisions. I know the pass was a little crazy there at the end of the third quarter, but good decision-making here.
That last foul on Dontavia Wagner for Boston College was her 4th foul, so something to watch as we go through the rest of this one, where Siena has been without Anaja Brown quite a bit, as she has 4 fouls. Sidberry, game's leading scorer, as Lizama with 6 to shoot. Lizama, who's had a nice offensive day. That was a good look again, but didn't go. And the rebound going the other way.
Daly tried to sell the call there, see if she could get the tip, but goes the other way. And again, that's a good defensive sequence from Siena to just continue to try to find these chances. Defense again, this time from Daly.
That's Sidberry on the run, and again, a really good setup from Kayla Ivey.
I don't know how she has eyes on the side of her head, but that was beautiful.
Mevius inside, nice little floater. She finds a way.
It's the finesse we've been talking about, though, right? That's the clean layups that Siena hasn't had for the most part today. Everything's been so hard towards the rim. Gotta have some finesse like that.
Pass for Sidberry, still managed to find it off the tip. Straight line drive, and no good on the bucket.
Kind of took Daly out the way there on trying to chase down her own rebound. So you can see, even with this lead, this Boston College team doesn't get complacent.
Whistle and a foul called away from the ball.
Again, just a great job from Ivy right here. Just finding the bounce pass. And then Mevius on the other way sees the sees part. Defense is a little late to come by. Lozama a little lazy just standing. So Mevius does a great job just attacking.
Jackson open for three. That banks in. Anijah Jackson with her second three-pointer of this second half. Todd to answer, and that goes. First field goal, as hard as that is to believe, for Tiana Todd.
Sometimes as a defender, you don't want to get caught in the, do I go over, do I go under? That's what happened on that last play.
That is Yergi inside, and she is fouled. Teya Sidberry is called for the foul.
This Jackson again cashes in off the bank, and you can see she's feeling it. The bench was feeling it. Made it a 12-point game before the foul.
Yergi, who is now 7 for 7 on the free throw line this year. Up to 7 points now. The Eagles have not fallen below kind of a 10, 11-point lead, but Siena has pretty consistently hung around here. They've also not allowed the Eagles to pull away. They've had it up to 18. Siena has clawed their way back, but Todd starting to heat up.
She found her spot. She knows where she needs to go and not afraid to pull it.
And a 9th straight game in double-figure scoring now for Todd, and that is an offensive foul.
And I understand Jim Jaber's frustration, right? You get the push off on one end, you don't get that call, but as soon as your player goes trying to attack, you get the charge called against you. So that's a tough one, and you take a look here at Boston College, Todd, just pulling the trigger. Again, when you find your spot as a shooter and you get comfortable, you know where you gotta be, that shot just feels like it's rhythm. It's music to your ears once it hits that net. You talked about, Eric, this is Siena team that when they hang around, they're a good three-point shooting team, so it can be dangerous for a team like Siena to just hang around at that 10-point, 11-point
Well,
vicinity.
They certainly have it, right? And Eagles have done a decent job holding them in check today. Sidberry, that was, again, a pretty good setup, but couldn't finish. Sitting on 20 points right now. Turned back over, though, for Boston College. Daly this time out front, and Andrea Daly has 2. That is 9 points in the game for Daly.
Great drive there, adjustment as she drove and hit it off the glass.
It's a pick ball on Lacey.
Again, defense leads to offense for Boston College. Todd with a great feed here to Daly, and again, just the adjustment for Boston College there.
Sapala back for Jurgi. Pull-up jumper, good. Alden Jurgi's done a nice job finding her points in this game. Now has 9.
You can see the pieces, right? Whether it's Mevius, Jurgi, Sapala, there are some good pieces on the Siena roster.
Well, it's one of those things when you bring back as many players as you do, as Siena did from last year, 80% of their scoring, their entire starting lineup, it gives you the feeling of, oh, this must be an older team. But the thing is, they're actually still pretty young. They were one of the youngest teams in the country last year, so maybe they're not the youngest this year, but you still look at most of these key pieces are sophomores or juniors, just the one senior with Jackson. That is an offensive foul on Churi. Extended the arm too much.
I don't know, Eric. That looked like a flop to me. That one looked like somebody was leaning backwards before that contact came, so that was tough. You can see the roster breakdown as we're talking about. So many young players on both these teams, right? Like Boston College, also a very young team, not a team that has a lot of experience with their bench players playing in game time action. So you look at where these two teams want to go in their conferences, they've got the right pieces to do so.
Travel called against BC. Teya Wagner will come back in for Boston College, replacing in Chai. And Mevius is back in for Sapala. Theoretically, just another player two before the media window, so at least on the Coach Max side, trying to get some more minutes out of Wagner, playing with 4 fouls. Mevius stops, got inside. That was a really good fake. Just could, again, not quite finish at the rim. Ivy in transition, leads it for Daly. Andrea, slip move inside, and Daly up into double figures.
Little left, little right.
Siena trying to answer back quickly. Mevius from the elbow, no. Ivy skips for Daly, and the foul. Assist number 6 for Kayla Ivy, and she sets up Daly, who's up to 13 points now with a free throw to come. The Eagles lead. A 20-point lead for Boston College in a game where the Eagles have really come to life from the floor in this second half, led by Teya Sidberry with 20 points for the 3rd time this year. Teresa Sapala has been the leading scorer for Siena in this second half. She has 12 for the game. Both teams have shot the ball better in the second half, but that graphic actually kind of told the story. Siena just too many turnovers right now, so even though both teams are shooting over 55% in the second half, the Eagles have 28 attempts from the floor. Siena has just 16 in the second half.
23 points off those turnovers. It really just shows you that when you're able to capitalize on the extra possessions, it's going to create enough separation to win you a game.
Another turnover. Teya Wagner out front, and Wagner finishes. That's now 4 in double figures for Boston College. Jurgi, pull-up jumper, no, and Krashovets is right there for the rebound. It's a 12-2 Boston College run. Finally pulling away in this one. Krashovets, nice move. And the first year is on the board.
It's a good decision right there to drive the baseline. Nice smooth finish at the rim.
There's Brown inside, out of a double team. Skips over for Gamble. Brown pull-up jumper. That was no good.
That was line drive shot. That one didn't have the arc on it, so hit front iron.
Here's Wagner inside, and Wagner for the second time in a row. Good effort to get it up and in. Back cut for Brown. Probably would have been a different game if Brown hadn't gotten into foul trouble early and had been able to be out there a little bit more. Coach Mack will call a timeout just to get some new players in.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think early foul trouble for the bigs for both these teams. You see Wagner on the steal and score. That's why she's top 10 in the country in steals per game. And then right here, the big freshman making a great decision, get that feed, cut it back across after utilizing the baseline. That's what you want to see from your young freshman.
Right off the inbound, Krashovets turning to her left hand and is fouled. And that is going to be the 5th foul on Anaja Brown.
We talked to Coach Mack. She said that she wants to see her freshmen from Budapest really get more opportunities, whether it's driving and not sinking the bucket, but earning trips to the free throw line or taking that shot when it's open in mid-range. She has a lot of confidence in her.
Well, the Eagles have somehow even upped the ante in this 4th quarter. They're shooting 70% from the floor here in the 4th, now up to 50% for the game. And a couple of free throws from Krashovets. Has that part of her game as well. It's been obviously a little bit of a small sample size, still working into this freshman year, but she has not missed a free throw this year, 7 for 7.
Free throw line should always be free points. Not always as consistent and easy to shoot those shots.
I was gonna say, if only.
That's where you get your free points from.
Pass inside from McGee is out of bounds, going to Siena with 2:09 to go here in the 4th.
As a player, it's always, you either have that open layup where you're all alone or the free throw line. Which one's more easier, right? And sometimes the pressure's more on an open layup. You're driving all alone, no pressure.
Devious, couple of little moves, comes back left. 6 to shoot, floater is off the mark from London Campbell. It's been a bunch of games here in a tight window for Boston College as they get ready to start the finals period here at the end of the semester over the next few days. Another steal for Lozama. Lozama out front, and that's a 5th double-figure scorer for BC as Lozama is up to 11, extending her career high. Be answered by Yergi, ties her season high with 11. Second game in a row with 11 points for Yergi, and there is Nene Njai with the bucket.
Such an unselfish play. Lozama already having a career day decides, hey, let's get the freshman involved.
Yergi for 3. That is short. Murray nearly had a rebound. Pretty impressive day for Kayla Lozama. Up to 13 points now. Has taken advantage of the opportunity. Playing time's been up here a little bit of late, and the sophomore has taken advantage with 13 today.
You can have Lacey and Lozama coming off the bench if you're Coach Mack to try to utilize those 2 players into the rotation. That is something that will give Boston College a really different dynamic going into conference play.
Eagles will be right back at it on Tuesday at 11 a.m. for their annual early game in the holiday window when they take on Stonehill. We'll have that for you right here on ACC Network Extra. One more look for Ivy. And that will do it as Boston College wins 88-59.
I thought Boston College did a great